All right, we're good to go here. Let me share my screen. And why don't we start with you, Denise?
I think you started with me last time.
Did I? Oh, you haven't been here for a while.
I haven't. Oh, okay. I guess that was the birdie.
Skip to
The
someone
birdie.
else if you
Okay.
prefer. It's up to you.
No, that's fine. That's,
All right. How you doing?
well, thank you.
Excellent. All right. Here we go. Everybody see that okay?
Yes. Yep.
All right. So what do we have here, Denise?
This was the Ganesh Festival, and I was good friends with a woman who was part of the community. And so I would get invited to go to the temple. And these two ladies that are in front of me, I knew them, so they didn't mind being photographed. But I just think I caught an intimate moment between the two of them. And I had a good amount of depth of field. And I didn't like the background, so I really blurred and took the background out of focus and cut the colors down and kind of blurred the edges. And then the kind of the glow to it is it's a filter with dynamic auto painter, but I know that Nick has the glow to glamour glow, all those filters. So it's similar to any of the glow filters.
Mm-hmm.
Colors are beautiful in this. Is that some from the Nick or the Glow software? Or?
Well, they're a very colorful group of people. But yes, the glamour glow is, how many of you are familiar with it, Nick or dynamic auto painter? It makes things rich. It illuminates in a way. It's almost like having a metallic print or printing on metallic paper.
Okay. Interesting. What do you think about cropping it down a little bit? Maybe something like that.
Perfect. Perfect. You can always make something better, can't you?
Sure, sure. Yeah, I think that eliminates a little bit of the chatter too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Another option to blurring is to maybe take some of these highlights down a bit.
Oh, they are.
Oh, okay.
They are.
Well, I guess
They
maybe
are.
a bit more.
It was quite bright, late afternoon sun.
Yeah.
And I
Up here and here.
dulled the intensity. I overpainted some areas. Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's but thank you. But yeah.
Sure. No problem. Anybody else have any comments on this one? Okay.
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
I love the saris.
Yes.
Yeah, they're amazing. All right. This next one's real interesting.
I have my family are reenactors. And so I end up going to these battle reenactments. And this one happened to be a World War II. It was Battle of the Bulge in Peoria, Illinois in December. And it was one of those Decembers that was really warm. It was not a good representation of Battle of the Bulge. These young men, I just thought the level of their grunge and their almost look war weary. They're with the German camp. They are Flemish. And I didn't realize that there was a Flemish division in the German army, but evidently there was. And I look back on this and I just think it's classic World War I or World War II, where you have a couple soldiers who they're sketching or they're writing home. The one young man is with the pipe in his mouth. I love the fact that they always stayed in character. They never once looked at me. It was like I was totally invisible. And The background, I took a lot of distracting elements out of the background. Although there were very few distracting elements, any modern, out of place modern elements in this group. But I just found that their willingness to be a subject matter really helped. You know, so many other times you're photographing people and they make eye contact with you, and maybe that's good in some circumstances because it does give you a center of interest. But in this situation, you don't want to be part of the narrative.
Mhm.
Did you try it in black and white or in a
Oh,
sepia,
yeah.
or?
Oh yeah, this image I've used heavily, actually. The black and white, the one that actually looks like World War II era, worked really well. It's done well. But I just since this is more the creative class, I thought that I would just go with this one, which is, you know, watercolor like. But the success of it is because these young men were so photographic.
Yep.
You know, I just have to be at the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
Excuse me for 1 second. Hang on.
Yeah, being in the right place at the right time's half the battle.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay.
Seems that American decided to cancel our return flight.
Oh, no.
to Italy. So we can get there. We just have trouble getting back.
Can make a suggestion. I'd do it sepia.
Okay. All right. My better half here thinks sepia might be a nice.
Yeah. That's,
Yeah.
this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's sepia as Civil War.
Yeah.
And my brother's really into Civil War, not so much now.
Mhm.
He's back to the Revolutionary War and War 1812, but for a while there, everybody's gung-ho Civil War. And of course, sepia works really well. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Make this a little bigger. There we go.
She is part of a powwow in Taos, New Mexico. I think it's 5 years ago.
Mhm.
And the background was extremely cluttered and bright and in focus and all that. And so I pretty much just selected her and inverse selection of the background and just toned them down.
Did you use a filter or something on that background? It almost looks pastel
Yeah.
or pink.
Yes.
Do you remember
Yes.
what it was?
I predominantly work in two programs, and that's Nik Color Effects Pro, and then in DAP, Dynamic Auto Painter.
Right.
And so I've used both of those on this.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it just almost looks like it's some kind of painterly effect on the back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Very, very nice.
Thank you.
I like the mixture of painterly and realistic. What do you think of maybe gradiating or toning down the background a little bit more to get her to pop just a bit?
Yeah, that yellow is pretty intense, isn't it?
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
Anybody else have any comments on this? Okay.
This is my friend Wandana, and I've used the Glamour Glow on it. And then I used another filter and sandwiched them together, and then I returned her facial features, her eyes, brought them back into realism. So the rest of it's treated pretty painterly, but her eyes, the parts that you really want to connect with, I have pretty realistic.
Mhm.
Great subject.
Yeah.
That's the part of it, isn't it? You just find the best subjects and get a good picture.
Colors are awesome.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Normally, on a portrait, I'd probably crop in a little tighter, but I kind of like what's going on the top. So
I like the door. Yeah.
yeah, the door
Yeah. it's-
and the
Mhm.
or whatever.
It creates three sections, her sari and then the brown door, and then leads you back down through those hanging
Yeah,
fluff
and the
balls,
frames are-
brings you back down and keeps going around.
Yeah, very nice. I'm just wondering, maybe this could go, this little edge here. Let's
Oh,
do-
Okay.
yeah,
Mhm.
real quick here.
Right.
Yeah, even a little more, but I think that brings you a little more into it. And then
Yes.
just these little light spots on this side too.
Uh-huh.
So maybe just something like
Yeah, I bring in the right side if I did
Yeah,
that as well. I like her. For portraits like that, since they're looking straight at you, I like them rather centered. If it was asymmetrical, if she's looking away, I would give her more room on one
Yeah.
side.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
fighting with trying to keep as much of this as I can.
Right, right.
Well, I guess
Yes.
the other thing you could do is darken this side down. That's it,
Uh-huh.
rather than crop.
Uh-huh.
You know, that could be an option. Just darken this
Yeah.
down. Yeah.
Good suggestions.
Thank you. Nice shot.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, this is totally different than what I've shown you y'all before. This is pretty much straight Photoshop, and I do cutouts where you'll take an image and you create the background as a transparency.
Mhm.
And then you can flip them. You can do all sorts of things with cutouts, but this is predominantly cutouts. And the background is a hillside with the one elk that's on the left-hand side. And so then I added two other elk on the right-hand side, and those are transparency cutouts that I then placed. And then I work with the opacity, so it will show through the background. And then the young dancer, who he's also from Taos, he's a cutout. And then all of the ribbons that run through this,
Uh-huh.
the red and the yellow ribbons that create this kind of diagonal flow through the piece. Those are also cutouts that I have used, and you can stretch them, you can elongate them, and then you can, turn them the way you want them. So I have this diagonal flow that goes through it.
Mhm.
And then at the end, it's just a watercolor filter.
Ah, okay.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
very nice.
Like the edging too.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. Maybe that
I
might-
can't wait to go back to some powwows and some, festivals and
Yes.
Mexican dancers, waiting for new subjects.
Yes, other cultural events that are unfortunately on hold for a while.
Right.
Yeah, very nice. Well, I hope that motivated some people. Some nice images here. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, let's go down the line here. Jim Bowman.
Okay.
I'm gonna scooch this over a little bit. There we go.
Yeah, this is Oregon, Cannon Beach, 2 years ago, because obviously we haven't been able to go anywhere lately. But it was kind of a typical hazy day again. And so I kind of like to take those kind of pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the softness of it. Yeah.
Especially after being here so long, well, except for the monsoon, you really don't get anything but sunny, clear days. It's kind of nice to see something different.
Yeah, so really I've done very little with it,
Mhm.
you know, just maybe some minor adjustments, but really just that's the shot.
Yeah, I like it. I really like this light band going through here too.
Yeah.
Gives it some depth.
Hmm.
Okay. This is the other direction. Oh, thanks.
So yeah, this was a Topaz treatment of the sunset and kind of one of the kind of inlet bays over there. And so there's a lot of interesting old kind of now, I mean, obviously dead. These are probably docks that were, you know, shot or, you know, like are shot like maybe 1900, I don't know. And so that's what's left of them. And yet kind of makes an interesting picture.
Yeah, it is.
Very nice.
So
Texture overlay helps it a bit too.
yeah. I think, you know, like the only thing I'd do probably is in the foreground, I've got a little shadow there. I don't know even what that metal is. I should have caught that earlier.
This here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that. That's so nice. That's the railroad, isn't it?
that's what?
Isn't that
Railroad.
the railroad?
Artifacts? Maybe.
Might be. I don't know. It could be.
Yeah, because there's a signal post there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
But long since gone.
Hmm. The only other thing, looks like this texture had some dust on it,
Yeah.
which is pretty common, unfortunately.
Is
So
the, is the lake horizon, is that horizontal?
Probably not.
Yeah, it's going
That
up
could,
a little bit.
it could be, yeah, just straightened up a bit.
It's funny how you know, you work so hard on something and then sometimes it's the little things that's like, oh, and then other people look at it and say, hey.
Mhm.
I think the trees up on the hill sort of, they help the pulse or whatever in the lake. There's just a good balance.
Yeah.
I like the effect, Jim. I do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like how you've darkened the upper left corner too. That could be blown out so much. And that just,
Right.
it's the little things.
yeah. You can even carry this a little further if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
Very good.
Okay.
Yeah, all the images are of Oregon. This one is just the river coming to the sea, and it's just again straight shot, nothing done to it, straight photography.
Very nice.
I like the little touches here. I'm not sure if these are feathers or.
Yeah, I think they're feathers that got
Yeah.
just spread around.
Yeah.
I guess of evidence of a bird. Somehow, I really didn't examine them closely, but I just assumed they were.
Mhm.
It's a beautiful color palette too.
Yeah,
Yeah, very subtle.
nice.
And the little bird at the top adds a
Yeah.
lot to it.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's going into your picture. It's flying into your picture.
Mhm.
Yeah.
someone said it added a heartbeat to your image.
A heartbeat.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, there you go.
It is.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this place. It had all sorts of different kind of junctures of the river kind of meeting the ocean, and there was just so many ways to frame it.
Mhm.
It was you know, you kind of went wild with different views.
Yeah, the Oregon coast is quite amazing.
Yeah, it really is. Both my daughters lived up there, and so I just went wild.
Okay, yeah, looks like we got a couple more views. Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, that's
Oh.
nice.
That's really
That's nice.
Very nice one. Yeah, I like that.
I do too.
Yeah, and so I kind of cleaned up and masked out the left-hand side of that mountain, whatever it is, and added a little detail there that wasn't there. Otherwise, again, straight photography.
Mhm.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Neat colors.
go ahead, Wendell.
So crisp.
Yeah, yeah, these textures in here and the wetness of the rocks and all this texture up here is wonderful.
Did you try any long exposure stuff when you were there, Jim?
Yeah, I did. But I just didn't like it as well. I don't, like, to me, ocean is just, it's not like a river. And to me, it just was better. I think I was like maybe 125, was the shutter speed on this. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Did you use a neutral density filter?
No. I
So it was a
didn't.
nice overcast day, so you
Yes, it
don't
was
have
an
any.
overcast day. Yeah, so I didn't
Yeah.
have to really kind of deal with the harsh sunlight. But that's the way, Oregon is. It's often just kind of real cloudy like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect exposure.
Yeah,
Perfect.
beautiful.
If you talk to people in the Pacific Northwest, sunny day is an anomaly.
Right. So here's a lighthouse, and once again, pretty much just a straight shot. I like the texture, and down there at the kind of like a little green in the water, and kind of a just the clouds were wild,
Clouds are beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Toward the lighthouse or away from it, whichever. That worked very nicely.
Yeah. So again, not a lot to describe as far as just a straight shot, but that says a lot for Oregon. You don't have to manipulate.
Yeah.
Very
I
true.
love it.
Now your horizon's running uphill again, but you know what? I like the way it's working with the clouds, so I don't know if it's an issue. If it's something you want to correct, it's pretty easy. I mean, you could just
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
to Photoshop and pull the one side down with
Yeah.
this.
I think that.
I can
Skew.
for others that don't know how to do that. Okay, so again, I usually dock my images so I have some area around them. Move closest history up. I'm going to double click the background to make it a layer. And
Okay.
under Edit Transform, shortcut just Command T on the Mac, and then you get the boxer on it. And then generally what I'll do is I'll go down to Distort.
Distort. Yeah.
And you can just grab this side and take it straight down. And of course, you're going to have to crop, or you can take
Just
this,
bring it up.
and then
Yeah. That's
work this
better.
side down a little bit.
Yeah.
Go. That works too.
You could do that same thing in Lightroom with
Right.
just the line tool
Sure.
when you're in the crop, in the develop panel.
Yep.
You can just take a line and draw it right along the horizon. It straightens the entire picture and crops pretty much at the same time.
Yeah. The only problem there, though, would be that this would rotate.
That would go with,
Yeah,
Yeah, so that would be an issue. On here, if you want to straighten that up a little bit, you can just kind of come over like that.
right.
Sure.
so is that a little bit of a lens distortion then? That's,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a wide angle lens.
Yeah.
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 Then you can go to Lightroom and use your lens correction tool.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're a salesman for Lightroom.
There.
It's a pretty versatile little tool.
If you want to see your guides, you usually have to hit R for rulers and you can your guides down if you really want to get picky.
Yep.
Take yourself
Pretty-
horizontal.
Yeah, pretty close.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
Pretty good eye.
But yeah, if you get that, and then, yeah, maybe we can just take this up just a little more. There we go. So, and just hit
Yep.
OK, and you're good to go. And you want to hide
On.
those, it's just hit Command H, and they're out of your way, but still there.
Yep.
There you
But
go.
who said I was perfect though? Oh,
Nobody. So that's how you fix it if you want to. You don't.
no, thank you. Thank you. I don't know if it's worth like buying the updated Photoshop for that.
Oh, it's in the oldest one. That
Oh, it is?
that trick's been around since probably Photoshop 3 or 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's there.
I've got 6, so
Yeah, it'll be there.
I'll look around for it.
Yeah, yeah.
What's
If you
it
got a
under?
mouse where you can right click, you'll find it. If not, it'll be in the menu once you.
Yeah, Adobe doesn't want you buying Photoshop anymore. I don't even know if they sell it as a standalone. I guess they probably
No,
do.
they don't.
Yeah,
But,
your subscription.
Yeah, it's $10 a month for Lightroom and Photoshop.
Yeah, for life.
Well, they all
For
get
your-
smart
For
ones.
your life and theirs, no.
It's 2 cups of coffee, right?
Right.
Yeah, right.
Well, it seems it does 2 things. Well, it makes them a lot of money, but it makes it more affordable. People can't just shell out, $600-700
$600, right?
or every time you want to do
I-
an update.
I've bought a few hard drives for backup recently, and they give you like 3 months free trial of it.
Right.
So I just so I've got about 9 months of free Photoshop.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I just bought, what the heck? It's one of those little SanDisk SSD terabyte drives to take with
Yeah.
the backup. And it came with a month free as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can add it to my existing here or what, but interesting. Okay, Jane, let's see what you got. We've seen this guy.
Yeah.
There we go.
So this is so fascinating. In Boise, Idaho, they've decided to, they've got about 50 feet of the dam that they have opened up so that people can practice surfing.
Hmm.
So there he is.
Wow.
I did put in, he was actually without any of his surfboard showing. And so I ended up putting another surfboard in from another picture because otherwise he really looked like he's walking on water.
Or wading his way through.
Well, that's not so bad.
Yeah,
But it's
That's-
just fascinating. I thought, my gosh, what people will do for fun.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
Probably is.
I had actually, I took it, I had a new camera and I took it at too high a speed. And so I had a fair amount of noise. And so I now have denoise. After I used it for a trial for about a week, I said, oh my gosh, okay. So
Good. Good. You guys think about maybe taking this corner down a bit so it doesn't
could
compete.
put it, yeah, so that we don't, probably just over to the edge of, I was just trying somehow to let it be known what in the heck the guy is doing. And it's hard to give that presentation. Would you take it clear over to the black part then?
No, I
Sandy?
wouldn't crop it. I would probably just take the tone down a bit so it's not so bright.
Okay,
Yeah, now, so you can do that in camera raw. I think we've showed you this before, but just quickly, if it was a raw image, you can just come down and here's your gradient up here. And you just drag that across,
okay,
maybe on an angle like that,
Yeah, yeah,
got it.
and
Uh-huh,
then kind of darken it down.
got it.
Yeah,
Good.
maybe pull some of the highlights down a bit.
yeah,
Uh-huh, super.
yeah.
Yeah, and then
Good.
once you have it, you can play with it a little bit and see if you want to do a little less or more. So there you go. And then if you don't like seeing this on the picture, this overlay button turns that off. If you want to use it again, you just click it back on again. If you want to see what the mask is doing, you just click that and you can see where it thick is the darkness and it gradiates down. So that's how you're getting a nice soft transition
Mhm.
there.
Mm-hmm. Super, thank you.
Sure. All right, I'll just cancel that out. Cancel. Okay. All right. Oh, that's fun.
Hmm.
There's something about being green. Uh, This was just about as green a picture as I could have gotten. So I didn't do much other than Luminar intensifying the color and doing a vignette.
Oh, it's a great shot. Very nice.
Yeah. There's a couple other things in Luminar you might want to try.
Okay,
Since you have Luminar and not Topaz, I'll show you that
good.
similar stuff. Okay, so we want to go right to edit. And first you can try this enhance
Uh-huh.
and look at accent. See what that does. Maybe just a little bit of that. And then structure is another one you can look at.
Yeah, I find I use structure a lot in Luminar, but that's, I think
I
you
would take
got
it all the
it.
way up so you can kind of
Okay,
exaggerated, but it kind of brings things up nicely. I wouldn't give it that much. It'd probably be somewhere around here. And then details, you got your small, medium, and large. Now, if you got grain in the image, it'll bring more grain up if you use this small. If you don't, you can use it a little bit. Usually, I like to go 100% when I do this. Well, you're at 111 now, so let's make it just a little bigger. Let's go like 200% just to kind of look at it. All right, so I'm going to go way overboard here. You see how the small details come up? There's a before, after. Yeah, so small would work in here. Maybe we just
mm-hmm,
use it a little bit, and then we'll look at medium. Again, I like to go overboard and then back myself up a little bit. Large, I don't know if that's gonna, yeah, a little bit of large will work. So those would be the three things I would definitely add to this image.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
That looks good, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
looks really.
that's your before and that's your after. Yeah.
And I'm not sure, but that I like it even that enlarged, that's really great.
Yeah, but yeah, so here's the before and after. And again, if you want to leave some of this out of these areas, like see some of this stuff's getting a little weird in here.
Uh-huh.
Maybe what you can do is see what's causing that. So the detail, no, a little bit. Maybe it's structure.
I don't think that was there before. I think that somehow in what you've
Yeah.
done.
So let's see.
Huh.
Well, let's see what the before looks like. Yeah, they're there in the before. It just
Were they? I just didn't notice them.
brings them up stronger because the blacks are coming up. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you'll be all right. But say you didn't want to affect those areas at all, you could always add a mask. The mask is right here. You see, you've got the on off, you get the reset, and this middle one's the mask. So like, let's just go to details here. We'll click that mask on, that opens this menu here. You can paint the mask, you can do a radial one, which is round, or the gradient, which I showed you in the camera raw. You've got those. If you just do a paint, it shows you the brush here.
Okay.
And so your radius, you know, and the difference between the inner circle and the outer circle is where your softness is, or your soft edge. So if you bring that down, you see how it comes closer together.
Oh, okay.
That's very hard. So
Mhm.
if you're doing like a product like an iPhone, that would be a good one to use. But if you're doing something where you just want to kind of blend it in, you can kind of come over here. It's a little softer. And then say you just want the frog, you could just paint him in. You don't have to be perfect, but if you see it showing up later in areas that bother you, just erase it. Okay, so now it's only affecting the frog.
Uh-huh.
See, the frog's the only thing that's sharp now, rather than the whole image,
Yeah. that's good.
Yeah. Lovely.
which might be a little more interesting. And maybe you might
Uh-huh.
want to bring some of this foreground up too. So what you can do there is you can take your brush and just take your opacity down. Maybe you don't want it so much, and maybe get a really big brush. Okay. And just whip it across here. So your foreground's a little more in focus. That'll sharpen it up a little bit. You know, if you want to make it even a little sharper.
Uh-huh. In the front. And then the back.
Yeah, you can make it
Huh.
darker like that. So you can kind of paint it and gradient it that way by using opacity. Okay.
Super. Thank you. Interesting.
All right.
Who would know that just a frog could do that much? This, I was just working, I have another one in color. I just like the structure of the thistle. And so I was just working here to pull out the thistle petals and then put the border.
Mm-hmm.
So I was more interested in the structure of this as much as, and Sandy, I used glow from Luminar. I was just trying to get those, the different thistle petals or whatever they're called to be more noticeable. That was what I was working to do.
Yeah, it's a little more geometric. Yeah. So here's your before. Yeah, I think I like the black and white better. How do you guys feel?
Mhm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Black and white, yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah, nice job.
Nice.
All right. Ah,
Oh, beautiful.
And I hit the Oregon coast too there. So I
I
guess.
want to go there.
And so here, just played some, I think I did a little bit of the fog, I think, on the Luminar, and then tried to bring out as much as anything. I was at quite a distance away from them. And so that's haystack again, and I think that's what you were using, Jim.
Yeah.
mhm.
Another beautiful sunshiny day.
It has awesome character in it.
Yep, beautiful. All right. Well, thanks. All right, Rob Berry. Just adjust this over.
That can't be an Arizona sky,
Yeah,
can it?
well, yeah, monsoon. These shots are all monsoon cloud kind of shots.
Okay.
And they were done with an iPhone 11.
Mhm.
And this one I didn't really do much with. It was kind of that, just about the way it looks. I did a time lapse, and right at the end, I got a couple frames that just look great with the clouds.
Mhm.
So I pulled those out.
Nice. What was your time differential between your frames?
It was 5 seconds, and I did it for 30 minutes.
Oh, nice.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah. Is that something you assembled into a movie clip for multiple?
I did that in Lightroom.
Uh-huh.
Lightroom is great for scrubbing through videos.
Oh, right. And then you can just pull one out.
Oh,
Yeah, you can just once you get one, you can capture it.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember Al showed us that once.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
a neat trick.
Yeah. Very nice.
It's just taking them off from my back patio.
Mhm. So for you guys that aren't here, we do get clouds for monsoon.
We have a lot of them this year.
Yes,
ooh,
we
very
have.
nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Again, just made the clouds as sharp as you could get them.
Mhm.
And I think I went down to the Topaz and sharpened them up even more.
Mhm.
I like it.
Yeah, it's an interesting feel, almost like an ink drawing down in here.
Yeah,
Yeah, very nice. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, wow.
yeah. Again, this was the big storm we had Sunday night.
Mhm.
And I just turned on the camera video, and then I just scrubbed through it and pulled out some pictures where I saw actual bolts of lightning.
That's a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It saves trying to anticipate. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can't do that.
No.
Yeah, they actually
I
have.
mean, I can't do that.
Yeah, I know. In the studio, we used to have trip triggers for the strobes. I wonder if,
Right, you can get that.
yeah, I wonder if that would work for lightning.
Yeah, most
I've
of
got
this
a-
was cloud to cloud stuff. There were very few boats,
Yeah,
cloud to ground.
yeah. The cloud to cloud is amazing lately.
Yeah, it really is.
Mhm.
I've got a little trigger for lightning, and it works really well.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, I often wonder if I'd like to get one of those and try it out.
Yeah.
Pretty inexpensive, so
Yeah, if you have a link for that, Alan, why don't you send it to me?
I'll do that. I can't quite remember the name of it, but it does a whole bunch of different things. It does everything, like
Oh,
Star
That'd be
Trek.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do
you can
that.
even just take a picture of it and I'll see if I can find it.
Oh, no, I'll look it up. I just can't remember it offhand.
All right, yeah, just send it to me. I'll send it out. All right, great, thanks. Let's look at this next one here. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. You should send that to the Green Valley News.
yeah. That lightning I added,
Is that in Luminar?
which is why I got it, which is why I said it. And otherwise, it's misleading.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's a Luminar lightning.
No, I have several lightning shots, and I just took one of them and then went into
Yeah.
Photoshop
Oh, like,
and copied out just a segment of lightning that I wanted,
Okay.
and then just as a composite.
Mhm.
I have a friend of mine who owns a program called Alien Skin.
Yeah.
And Alien Skin has a lot of add-ons, and one of them is lightning. I don't believe a thing he shoots anymore.
See, that's the problem. You can really jazz up lightning strikes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this over at the Canoa Ranch?
With the what?
Where's the water?
Oh, this is Canoa, the
Like,
Canoa Park
Yeah.
pond.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
You should have sent that into the Monsoon Madness photo competition.
We're also trying to put one together with just audio, thunderclaps.
Oh, yeah. That should be fun.
Yeah.
Nice. I can't remember. Are you in the multimedia group too?
Pardon?
Are you in the multimedia group as well?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. I thought I remember you showing some things there. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. I haven't been in there for a while. I usually try to get prep for this course, and it's just before it. So.
Yeah, they've set it up now so that you can use Zoom or you can be there in person.
Right. Yeah, I saw that. In fact, I've got to check out that YouTube and see how they're doing it.
Yeah,
So,
that's pretty neat.
yeah, so when I get back to teaching over there, I'll figure out how to do that. Probably won't be till January, though. That's right. Things are going. And my travels and stuff. Okay, so you got some nice sunbeams on this one.
Yeah.
So this before or after the storm?
It was probably before.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. Nice. Yeah.
Is the horizontal line right on that one?
No, I don't think so.
No, yeah, the big post is.
Yeah.
There's a little one that's
Yeah.
tilted.
It's
I didn't want.
looks
Yeah.
like lines distortion again a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it can be straightened out.
Yeah. Ron, you work in Topaz or Luminar?
When I go out, that'll be the Topaz. I don't have them.
All right. So if we go in Topaz,
Well, in Lightroom, I can straighten those out too.
oh no, I'm talking about maybe jolting these clouds a little bit with.
Okay, I did go to Topaz, and I used a Van Gogh,
Uh-huh.
and that came out pretty neat too. But I kind of like this a little better.
Mhm. Yeah, here's what I'm thinking. Just adding precision, detail, and contrast, which I just set up as a preset for myself, but I don't start them at all. Yeah, you can get these clouds looking pretty ominous if you want. Maybe, yeah, no, I wouldn't take that.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, I tried several.
Yeah, you could spike that up a little bit like that. If it's too much, you can grab the opacity and
Yeah, pull it down.
a little bit. And then you want to add a little detail with the precision detail. You've got small, I'd leave alone because it's probably going to eat up your grain, but let's try it with, medium might be a little too much. Maybe just a little bit. And large probably would work really well. So overboard, yeah, we'll come back. So, yeah, maybe something like that could be fun. If you want to go a little more dramatic. Okay. Thanks for bringing those in, and thanks for coming. I haven't seen you for a while.
Yeah, it's hard to get here in
Yeah.
the afternoon.
Okay. Well, thanks. Let's see what you got, Steve.
Oh, Fantasyland.
That's a given.
This is a hairy little seed, tufted with all kinds of little fibers. So it's a macro shot, and pulled into both Photoshop and into Topaz. For the electric effect, I think this was electric edges in Topaz.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Looks like a kind of eyeball there.
Yeah.
Looks like the top of a cup of coffee.
I'm not sure I'd want to drink it. Yeah.
No.
I could use maybe a
Or maybe I've already drunk it, Wendell, and it was special coffee.
Yeah. Espresso.
I'd be really interested in seeing the original image to see how far
Oh,
you've
it's,
taken it.
okay.
It's so interesting looking. It's like, what is it to begin with?
A little seed, little
A
seed
little
pod,
seed.
a little seed pod. Hold on just a second. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, just uploaded, and I'll pick it up in a minute. We'll continue
Okay.
the rest of these in the meantime. Well, I'll wait till
Sure.
upload, or at least start so you can explain.
Oh,
that.
go ahead and come back to it as soon as I dig it up here. But
Yeah, nice.
here we go. I'm just playing here with my light box and some close-up photography. This is a small bottle, probably 2.5 inches tall,
Mhm.
against a black background with backlight on it to give that the bottle itself that glow.
Very nice one.
Yes, and a little front fill from
Yeah, a little front fill from one of the
lower right.
little studio lights that I have. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So Steve, explain the light box. It's sitting on a light box, but it
No, it's
has,
not. I don't want to say a light box. It's like a small light tent.
oh, a light tint. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
And the backlight was just a strip LED that I had from a failed closet installation, is what I call it.
Those little strip LEDs, I find.
It's got like 6 bulbs in it. Yeah.
Yeah, for editing old slides. Fortunately, I still have this monster light box that I brought from my old studio that's about 5 feet long and a couple feet deep. So
Yeah.
I just default to that. But when the bulbs go, I'm gonna get the LED and chuck that thing. It's huge. Okay.
So yeah, just playing around.
Mhm.
I like the
Next
looks of
one.
the metal.
Yeah.
Very
Looks
well done.
Looks very elegant.
Thank you. And this one I had to sneak off to my neighbor's yard to get the lantana.
Oh. Oh,
Same bottle, different lighting
Mhm.
technique, all side light.
Yeah.
With a warmer, I should say the lights are adjustable from 3200K to 5600K. So this was taken down into a warmer range.
Yeah. Which ones do you use?
What's that?
Which lights do you use?
These are little Nuar lights. I think they're about, I'm looking at it right now, probably 6 inches by 4 inches.
Oh, they're the little rectangle pads.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And for doing light tint illumination, they work out pretty well, and they're quite cost effective if you're going to go buy lights. So, and adjustable intensity, the brightness, the color.
Mhm.
So it works out pretty well. Plus, it comes with this handy little remote control, so you don't have to be fiddling with the back end of them all the time.
Nice. Yeah. The only critique I have is cleaning. Yeah. Always good to have a can of air and
Well, I'll tell you what, I scrubbed that top.
yeah, it's
So what you're seeing there is in that top.
oh, so that's in the glass. Okay.
Yeah, because I took a cleaning rag to it and went over it. So it's not that there's nothing in there I can really remove.
Ah, okay. So it's just a matter of cloning it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. I like the composition.
Mhm.
Yeah, I thought, wow, I'm starting to do flower arrangement. I got to get out more, you know.
No, keep it up.
Yeah,
That's funny.
yeah.
But I think it turned out well.
Mhm.
Nice job.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, I would probably take your left foreground light and maybe tone it down just a little bit because I think the ratio is a little hot.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, you're working pretty well. Okay.
This is another fantastical composition.
Oh, wow.
I call this one Frog Love. But it's a small, I guess you'd call it a sculpture that I took a picture of ages ago. And then what it's sitting in is an actual swamp pond, I guess, in Savannah. But I took that into Topaz and gave it the treatment. So it came out looking like a fantastical pond. And then back into Photoshop to, I don't want to say use the transparency tools to blend the sculpture into the pond itself. And then added a few little, I guess, lily pad blooms that you see there. So. But just again, playing around with images that I've got and trying to do something different with them.
Mhm.
My first thought was maybe to darken this down and maybe this one, but it does pull your eye right through.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a little bit.
Well, there were other actually lily pad blooms that were cropping up there. So,
Okay.
the ones you see in the middle of the picture, and they've had their tonality changed quite a bit from the stark white down to the pale green.
Do you find your hours slipping by when you're working on a piece like this?
Yes, and it's a good thing.
Definitely.
It keeps me out of everybody's hair, right? He's in his room doing something. I don't know what it is.
Keeps you off of Amazon Prime,
Yeah,
Yeah.
buying more photo equipment.
yeah.
For who knows what else. There was nice. Any other comments, anyone? I don't know, maybe a little vignette.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah,
It's still a work in progress right now.
there you go. Ah,
And this is a cherry tomato on top of a crystal candle holder, shot straight down on a black background.
I'll make that a little bigger. There we go.
Very creative. I guess because it's so highly in focus and detail, you know it's not a cherry tomato embedded in an ice cube. You know, you can definitely see that it's
Yes.
almost looks like it's levitating above the.
It's on outer space.
Yeah.
Yeah, a planet with stars behind it.
There we go. The angry red tomato. Yeah.
It looks like our sun right now through all the smoke.
Yeah. So these were just little projects, actually, to try different techniques and found items around the house.
Good.
The red planet.
Yes.
Red planet, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you could take a face of this and then just superimpose it over this a little bit if you wanted to
Oh,
make it look like it was in there.
yeah. Oh, yes, yes.
So do you have the original of that first one?
Oh,
The
well, I think that-
seed, we're back to the seed.
Back to the
Yes,
seed.
I will be
Let's see.
perusing that. I've got it in here. One of my shots here.
Okay, you didn't say.
Going through Lightroom right now.
Oh, you haven't? Okay, I'm
Oh, here we
sorry.
go. Here we go. I got it. I got it. So let me go ahead and export this real quick, and then let me just make sure this is the least ugly of the ones I have. Yes, okay. Or I could, well, export probably be easiest. And then kick it up there to,
Yeah, just put it in Dropbox and it'll come right up for your stuff.
yeah. So go on with the other stuff and I'll
I'll
kick
hit
this over
reload
to you.
and, just let me know when it's up and I'll come back.
Yep.
Okay. This is one of mine that I was looking for something to spend a couple hours on, and it took at least that. I've been watching the PBS show on Icon, the music photography, and one of the episodes on that was about photographers doing cover photos for record albums. And since I've got a big bunch of old albums sitting in a cabinet, I thought I'd dig some of them out and blend them into a composite image, see what I could come up with. And so this is it. It was basically the photography part was a tabletop thing. I just set up the record sleeve on a table at about a 30-degree angle to the lens axis and took a picture of it, and then went to the next one. And then I reversed them all and took pictures the other angle, and then sifted through, picked out what I wanted. And so this was a result of that little eclectic collection of music, everything from Johnny Cash to John Coltrane. But then the background was, I tried to find something I had of a performance, and all I could find right then was the Bluegrass Festival of a few years ago. So I turned that to black and white and fuzzied it up a little bit to
Very nice.
It's all done in Photoshop with about 15 different layers.
Wow.
And that actually worked out easier than I thought it would. I first thought of trying to set up all the record covers and taking one picture of all of them. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, why have I got Photoshop? I can do one at a time and just put them together.
Yeah.
Have all the hassle of trying to get one shot taken. So anyway, that's just my little experiment. As I say, I was inspired by the PBS show.
Yeah. No, it's a nice construct, really is.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
It's up there, Sandy. The original is up there.
All right.
Should be down in my group called Steve Seedpot, I think, hopefully. There it is. One more down.
There it is.
There you go.
All right. So this one and the very first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Oh,
Wow.
my goodness.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
That's quite. I can see where you got the. Oh, I know that effect. Let's wake them up. Nice. Nice.
Steve, you said you used a Studio 2 Topaz to,
Yes.
oh, wow.
I was just wondering how many volts you added there.
That would be 1,000,000 volts.
A million megawatts.
So Denise, that was just a little seed pod I found laying around somehow, and figured, let's go ahead and take a macro shot of it to see what it looks like. And then, okay, let it sit there for a few weeks, not doing much with it. And then let's see what happens if we, do some strange and exotic manipulation here. So.
See what happens when you stick it into a receptacle.
Yeah, I keep a fork. I keep a fork in one around here all the time, Alan. So I go recharge.
Uh,
I don't lick it though.
Are you just supposed to hold it when you put it in the receptacle?
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. All right. Yeah, that won the Darwin Award, I'm sure. So getting back to our album graphics, guilty as charged. I did quite a few of these in my many sort of years.
Well, Wendell, that places you as far as, chronology or chronologically, yes.
Yeah,
And since the rest of us can identify it with that, I guess we get sucked into that too, so.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
During that time.
Cool.
Yeah. But you still have your vinyl though, which is,
oh, yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
and I have a player that will play them.
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah, I think after probably moving them 4 or 5, 6 times, huge boxes, I probably gave them up. I think when I came out here. But,
Yeah,
yeah.
well, got a lot more, so you may be seeing other versions of this type of thing in the future.
That's fun.
Good.
Anybody have any suggestions? My first thought is you've got the perspective, but it looks flat. And what would you guys do to make this have a little more depth and more interest?
A little bit light, a little bit darker at the
Yeah.
front. So
Mhm.
You mean the Beatles album at the back end to darken it a little bit, or
Well, here's my thought. Since you've got this all in layers, it'd be a lot easier than what I'm going to try and do. Let's. So the techniques I'm going to use probably would not be what you would use if you still have the layers filed. I would take this layer here to start, and instead of giving it a solid color, give it a gradient color.
oh,
And
oh, okay,
yeah, on the ramp leading into it.
yeah, oh,
Exactly.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, you could probably even do it a little steeper and
Yeah.
something like that.
yeah.
Maybe not quite so dark. But yeah, that adds some dimension. And you can do the same thing on the sides too.
Yeah, that sounds like it'd be good to,
And even on the top. Let's just make another one up here and kind of bring that down a bit.
Yeah.
And we'll bring one this way. Maybe not quite so much.
Now here's a really crazy suggestion, Wendell.
oh,
Instead of this ramp you've got going in here, you should go out and find a good stretch of highway and lay
Oh.
down with your camera and take a picture right down that highway.
oh, okay,
I like it.
well,
Yeah,
Great idea.
replace it. Yeah, replace it.
Just make sure it's a not well-traveled highway, yes.
yeah. Yeah, I guess like the side shading there, I might lighten that a little just so it doesn't obscure the albums, but
Yeah,
the one at the bottom is good.
But yeah, oops, yeah, do that. That kind of gives you the idea.
Yeah,
What I'm trying to do. This is a little extreme, but yeah. And then maybe just lighten this up a hair.
now that does add drama to it.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So basically, yeah. So basically, you got your before and after.
Good idea.
Alrighty.
It's a cool idea, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, this one was taken at the Denver Botanical Gardens some years ago, and all of the rest of mine were originally color slides that I've scanned, and I'm working with them, trying to see how much I can improve them using Photoshop or Topaz. And this one was using Topaz. I used the artistic expressionism filter first, and then used the Topaz Dramatic Coming Night on top of it. And that's what pretty much gave the dark colors and everything. And then I got it into Photoshop and cropped it considerably from the original and took out a few spots, but mostly it was the two filters in Topaz that created this look.
It's absolutely gorgeous. What is your first name?
Wendell?
Wendell. Thank you. Absolutely
Nice.
gorgeous.
Very nice, Wendell.
Yes.
I like the crop too. The aspect is wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot more at the bottom, a lot more lily pads, but I took them out, kept cropping further and further, and finally settled on this.
Well, you've got that odd number in there. So you've got like 3 separate groups of lily pads.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they could.
Oh, yeah.
Get you through like stepping stones. Yeah.
Yeah. But I love the reflections and the water too, how those turned out.
Yeah, it's very nice.
It's hard to see where the water line is, which it was even hard to see in the original slide, but it is just above the lily pads there, the big lily.
Yeah.
You just have to follow the angled reflections to find the water line.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and the grain is nice too. I like the addition of a little bit of the grain from one of the effects you use. Yeah, very nice. Okay. I'd like to see you do some more of those.
Yeah, well, I will.
All right.
This is also from Colorado days. This is the Garden of the Gods in Colorado Springs. And this is just one of the big stone monoliths there. And about all I did to it was Topaz simple basic correction. And I used Photoshop to replace the sky, which is a very useful thing when working with scanned slides, I find, because that's where all the dirt shows up in the sky. So replacing the sky does it in one click. So that's how I did this. Now, well, I don't know how red the rocks show up in yours. On this green, mine is not very bright red, but on the other computer where I was doing the work, it was a redder rock.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I guess-
it's quite a bit. That looks pretty authentic. Nice.
Spent a lot of time in the Garden of the Gods when we were there.
And there in Red Rocks.
Yeah, I didn't get up to Denver area that much, but this was 3-4 miles from home.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah, this one's a little flatter.
Yeah, and it's looking flatter on mine. Actually, I did desaturate the reds a little bit because the original slide didn't even look real. They were so red. So maybe should have left them as is, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe not as much. Yeah, this kind of flattened out a bit.
I was up early one morning to get early morning light on these. So, but anyway, there's a lot of interesting rocks. I think this is what they call the gateway rocks, the main formation in the Garden of the Gods.
Fun.
And that was just Photoshop, a sky replacement also from this one.
Yeah, you could probably go back and just replace the main image and keep the sky and the masks, so you don't have to do all that work over again. And then just desaturate it a little bit.
Oh yeah,
just kind of layer it between the background layer, which is this, and the sky group.
Yeah, probably. Good.
All right. So here's a little before and after.
Yeah, this was one that I did totally in Photoshop, and the slide The one to the left is pretty blah, but I was able, just by playing with color and luminosity, to bring up some color and almost created a dreamlike atmosphere there with the kind of fuzzy treeless or leafless trees around in front of the rocks. And I did replace the sky in this with one of the ones from Photoshop, one of the sunset or sunrise. But it's amazing how much I was able to bring up in Photoshop from what would have been showing in a slideshow with the original slide.
Mhm. Yeah, I like the texture you got in there too.
Oh yeah, I think
See,
I did use oil paint on
Yeah, let's just look at the before and after again there.
yeah.
The difference.
Yeah. Now, one thing after scanning these slides, a lot of them were kind of soft, even though some of them I used a tripod to take the picture. And I don't know if that's the best I can get from a original color slide or not in scanning, but
Was
I'm scanned.
was the emulsion side toward the scan?
Well, and some of them it was. I did have some of them backwards.
Yeah, because sometimes if you go through the acetate side, it makes them really soft.
That could be some of the case, and this was one of them that I was reversed, but I did on the second batch. I got it straightened out.
Yeah,
But they still.
I find I'm having to sharpen them up on my scans too.
Okay. Now, years ago, I got the idea that the average film, like a 200, 100 ASA or ISO film, would be about a 5 or 6 megapixel digital camera equivalent. Did you ever come up with a kind of a comparison between what megapixel level you'd have to match the typical film?
Yeah, I did it on Kodachrome when we first started doing digital transparencies, and it worked out to be what we called Res 40, which basically came out to 1048 dots per inch. So, yeah. So depending on what size it was, in the file, 1028 dots per inch on an 8x10. So if you take that down to 34 by 46 millimeters, it's considerably more. But it got to be, I think, somewhere close to about 40 megabytes for Kodachrome.
40 megabyte camera on a 35 millimeter.
Yeah, it was pretty close. But that was 20 years ago. Nowadays, I think a 12 megabyte camera was probably equivalent.
Okay, yeah.
Big ego, I guess it's what you're going to print it on. But if you're just comparing the slide image to, a digital image at 1:1, 100%. Back then it was 40 megabytes because you had to get at least 1024 per inch. Now you can get away with 300 to 240 depending on what you're printing on.
Okay.
Anyway, probably a little too much information for most people.
Yeah. Well, in the future, I'll just make sure I got the slide in the holder right way up.
Yeah. What are you scanning in?
Sorry?
What scanner?
I was using the one at the club, 3200.
Yeah, that's a flatbed, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I don't know what the DPI is once you isolate it, but I would certainly get the highest possible, because and do I don't know if it's 12-bit or 16-bit, but at least 12 I can.
No, 3200 was the setting on the.
Yeah, if you can get higher, that'd be nice, and definitely don't do 8-bit, do 12 or 16-bit, or 14. It just depends on how old it is. Okay.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I think we're back to Alan.
Oh.
All right.
Okay, so this is a lily and just about to bud. And what I did here was I gave it a little bit of black and white treatment at the bottom and left the color at the top. And what I was trying to think of here was just the life of the flower coming out of the bud. And I was just trying to make the difference, show the difference there. Anyway, I liked it the way it was in full color, but I kind of liked this idea as well. So, what I was trying to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really pulls it in nicely.
yeah.
I liked the way it just brought it in, you know, the gradient on the black and white. It was a desaturation in Photoshop that I put on there. Yeah. So that's what I was trying to get, and I don't know why, but I thought it was a good idea at the time.
Well, it's worth imitating.
It is. I'm taking mental notes. I even like how there's a little bit of a green
Yes,
focal area to the on the
Yes.
right-hand side.
Yeah.
And your signature adds a whole lot to this, really.
Thank you.
To me, it's a balance. It just adds it. If it just didn't have your name or that little green
the green.
mossy area in there, it's I don't think it'd work as well. But
It definitely was a choice of how far you brought that up and whether you just left the black and white over the actual bud. But I just like the way it kind of flowed in there. So
yeah, nice, very nice.
Very nice.
So you know, you can pull that gradation further and then use a brush to erase where it is on your subject.
Yeah.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know that, we'll just do a little quickie. You can do this in Lightroom or Photoshop. Lightroom, we just be in the develop module of Photoshop. We got to go back into Camera Raw here. But basically, oops, what did I do here? There we go. We'll go hit gradation. We'll bring one up here. Let's take a look and see what it's showing. Yeah, maybe we'll go up a little higher just to really get it on there. Okay. I'm going to be way more dramatic than you normally would, so you guys can see this easily enough. Okay, so up here, you've got the gradation, brush, and erase. So here's the brush tool, which would add, and here's the erase tool. Now, if you just hold your option key down, it toggles back and forth. So, if I go to the brush tool, you can see that if I hold down the option or alt key, it goes to erase. So I prefer to work that way in case I want to go back and forth. So I'm just going to erase, and you can see there's a little minus in the center or a plus.
Mhm.
You know, and on each one, you've got your own size and flow. So you can see on my plus one, I'm real soft, and on my minus, I'm real hard. I'm going to fix that on this one and just get it to feather out a bit. There we go. So you can see it's feathered real nice. And I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. Let's see. Maybe something like that. And then you just go down and paint. I'm overdoing it here, but if you want to get a little more settled, just take your flow down and you can kind of blend that in a bit. Let's take the flow down even a little more. So you can kind of blend that in. So you can get even more dramatic and still keep your subject where you want it.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So say,
Oh, yeah.
so you want to desaturate that, just take the saturation way down. Like that.
Nice.
Yeah. And then if you want to get selective, maybe you want to take this side back down to black and white, you can do that too. Just take your brush on the additive. make it really small. Keep the feather down.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
So you can get very selective with it. It's almost like burning and dodging, but you're just using a mask on your gradation.
Right.
And
Cool.
here's what it looks like. So that's your actual mask. Okay.
Good one.
All righty. That should be real useful for you. Okay, let's go to the next one here.
Nice.
Real nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful bokeh.
This was in, we were in the botanical garden at the zoo. And that's where I got that lily from as well. So, so I specifically went there to take photographs of butterflies. So this was one of them, one of the many.
Yeah, very nice.
I love the way his little antenna is holding up this little bokeh.
Yeah.
And I always love their little proboscis.
Mhm, mhm.
I had another one similar to that, but that little feeding tube that they have, it was all covered in pollen. It looked really cool. But
I'll bet, yeah.
I like this one better. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It was a 105 micro lens.
Well, the crispness of the wings and the texture of the wings against that soft background really separate. Right?
Mhm.
It was on a tripod, so
Mhm.
I didn't.
Did that butterfly let you get that close?
Yeah,
a
pretty
macro?
close. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, it was a 105 macro, so probably 14 inches or so, 12 inches.
Mm.
That's pretty close to a butterfly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Nice.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, you could spend the whole day in there just watching them. So,
Mhm.
That's a good idea. Actually, the botanical garden here has a butterfly section too.
Is it
Yeah.
open?
I don't know if it's
Been-
open now.
one-
I haven't been there in a
the
while.
one in Tucson is amazing. It's really good.
Yeah, because the background there is pretty distractive. So to do a real autofocus would be beneficial. Last time I was there, I just had my iPhone. So
Denise, I think the botanical garden's open. I'm not sure about the butterfly house, but
right.
Okay.
I know the botanical gardens is open.
Yeah.
When I was there in May, the butterfly house was not.
Yeah, they if they did open it, probably be like a few people at a time because of distance. So
I don't know if I'd want to go in there except by myself.
yeah, I hear you. Now that you think about it, yeah, it is pretty confined.
Unless you give me a level 5 hazmat suit to wear while I go in.
Well, they let you in with a tripod, or do you have to use a monopod, or?
I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be
Oh,
another
yeah.
question. Yeah,
Pretty small place for a tripod.
Yeah,
those
it
are
is.
good at
Yeah,
it.
I think monopod at best. Okay, well, moving on.
Oh.
Neat.
wow, the nails are just unbelievable. They are.
Before we start this, I should let you know we had a Van Gogh exhibition here, and I don't know if you've ever been to one of these. It's just a phenomenal experience. So it's a massive hall, and they've got this video, or I don't know how they do it. I have no idea how they do it, but these walls are changing constantly, and on the floor, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Anyway, so now that I've described that, I was kind of Van Gogh'd into doing this.
Van Gogh'd it into doing it. Yeah.
Van Gogh'd into
Goated, yes. So is this in the same shack? You've done many different.
No, this is a different. Well, I did this one a while ago, but I don't think you guys have seen this one. But
Okay.
this one I got up.
I'm gonna say it looks like it's weathered pretty badly.
to walk through grass up to my knees, and I got soaking wet. So this is really cropped in quite closely. Because I had the image of the whole building or the whole structure, and when I zeroed in on this, I just loved all the detail and the brush strokes, because this was a Van Gogh effect in Topaz.
Mhm.
And I just loved everything. I loved the colors and the
Yes.
texture and the, like you say, the little nails and
Yeah, the nails
Yeah.
are beautiful.
and even that little bit of yellow down. That's a real yellow
Yeah.
field of wheat or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Very
that's,
nice.
thanks.
Yeah, beautiful mix.
So what's a character?
Yes.
Did we? I think we missed one, Sandy, didn't
Yeah.
we?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's a
This-
beautiful capture.
Oh, thanks. I just have a little motor cross track here in Calgary.
Yeah.
And fortunately, you get the backdrop of the downtown, so it really kind of adds to
Oh, yeah.
the image.
Yeah. Beautiful.
This morning, I just spent some gray-haired moments trying to put three of these guys together, like 3 shots together in Photoshop. So the 3 shots, so the before and after of this one.
I actually saw that on Facebook and left you a note.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm thinking, I used to do a lot of those for sports and stuff. And if you make them a little more transparent as you go back, so the second one's maybe 70%, the third one's 40%.
Oh, okay, different.
And then somewhere in between the layers, put some motion blur, which you could probably get off of this guy,
Right.
and that would help too.
Yeah.
You can really
I
get
spent
it going.
a long time trying to do.
Yeah. And I guess the only other thing, if you're really wanting to get crazy, is you can use that twirl filter and just get a little bit of twirl motion.
On the bike.
But
That
I
was good.
actually like it frozen the way it is. But if you're doing that multiple, you might want to play with that a bit.
All right. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, good idea. Yeah, I get quite a few good shots of them down there. So
Yeah.
this is the one I think I like the best.
Yeah. So were you what, about 1,000, 2,000th of a second here?
Probably about 1,600, I think.
Yeah. Good action. Good freeze. Nice. Okay.
Just gonna close my window here, guys. It's a wee bit noisy.
Oh, yeah. Looks like someone's backing up for something. Okay. So now, this is your granddaughter?
This is my granddaughter. So she was just over yesterday, sitting down quite a ways away. This is a completely candid shot, but I just
Yeah.
loved it. The light hit. So
Yeah, it's beautiful lighting.
just I was just lucky. Camera was there, she was there, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Got a nice little highlight in her braid back
Yeah.
there.
Yep.
So you could crop this a million different ways, and I was unsure which one was the best, but yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways to do it.
I like the portrait look where you had the horizontal where she was looking.
Mhm.
You had it cropped at her
Yeah.
shoulder,
I like that.
and she's looking over onto the right hand side.
Yep.
I love that. It's the reflection in her eyes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Well, I just, to be honest with you, I think this is probably one of the best photos I've ever taken. So, and it's just
No, it's exquisite.
Yep. you
one
got
of these
subject
shots.
here. Yeah.
This is a new lens I bought. Actually, it's not a particularly high-end lens. It's I bought it for a trip that we're going to be doing here next month. So it's a 24 to 200 4.6 lens.
Yeah.
And this was at 200. So this was at 6.3, I think.
Hmm.
So it's not one of the high-end lenses there, but I'm really quite impressed with it. Some of the shots I've gotten with it so far has been really good.
Yeah, I've got the equivalent on my R5. I got the 24 to 240, and I feel pretty.
What,
Okay.
what brand, Alan?
It's an Icon, yeah.
Nikon? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this is on a Z6 camera.
Mhm.
But I'm really happy with this one, really am. I'm a little bit biased, I know, but
And rightfully so.
I shouldn't send you that petapixel video then about Nikon cameras.
oh yeah, what's that?
It's a comedy. It's a little comedy video, but it's somebody does this to a kind of a rap song,
Oh,
and they keep showing the guy with the Nikon. It's a potato with a lens on it. So he says, "No, please don't shoot me with that potato." So.
Always someone.
You could probably find that up on Petapixel if you want to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you guys know I was out of town and was up in the Seattle area, so I'll show you some of the stuff I got there. This was Sam Ferry.
super shot.
Thanks. Yeah,
Yeah, wow.
this was the one coming back, so I got the afternoon light, which was kind of nice. I did one going as well, but I really like the one with the.
This is on a ferry.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow, why?
You can see that, and it's an iPhone, by the way.
Yeah.
Using the panoramic feature, which turns out it's about a 40 megapixel image when you're done. Yeah, you can see the little wake here from the ferry.
Yep.
So yeah, that worked out pretty nice. And then this next one was on the bridge near Tacoma, going back toward the airport. Things finally cleared up, and I got to see Mount Rushmore through the bridge railings there. I think this was the bridge they used to call Galloping Gertie, the one that went out of hand with the onyx and fell apart.
Called the Narrows.
Yeah. It was kind of dull in color, so I took it into black and white. Actually, it's in your class tomorrow, Wendell. I think I posted it. But yeah, I think I like it better as a black and white. Yeah, let's see what else. This was actually from our trip, but I thought it was a little unusual.
A spoon holder built into the jar. Wow.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's pretty unusual.
I was going to say moonshine jars, but no. Okay.
Well, maybe that might have been what was on that spoon.
might have been the taster jar. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was impressed at how thick the glass was on the jar itself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Looks really cool. Yeah.
So I was
Like the tones in this, the silver and the gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I did quite a bit on this one. Let me just go back to the original. Here's the before. Yeah. So actually, yeah, that's the before without the cropping. You can see I use the perspective in this one, but
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But, so there's the after.
Yeah, the tonalities are wonderful.
Yeah, I dropped the background down and the sides down. I vignetted a little bit up this way, and then I use that effect I just showed you, where I brought back the bottles and left the greenish wrap around them.
I love that blue around the edge on that rim.
I just hit sleep. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that was just daylight coming in from a window, and it was
Yeah.
kind of bluish compared to the warm room lighting. So yeah, you get that mix of warm and cool, which was kind of fun. Yeah, let's see what we got here. This is just walking around in Seattle. There's a little back, yeah, there's a little back alley that goes to the right here. There's some bars and restaurants, but I just thought that was kind of fun
Yeah, that's cute.
with the clean outs and
Yeah,
stuff.
sculpture. Yeah, make it a sculpture. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of fun.
Obviously, this is not an operational clean.
Oh, I think so. Yeah. Pretty bizarre.
Quite the plumbing.
What's that, Alan?
I said, that's quite the plumbing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, kind of fun. Yeah,
So-
there's my granddaughter and her husband on the ferry
Yes.
coming back.
Nice shot, Sandy. Nice shot.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they were both looking on, and then she kind of glanced over her shoulder. and she was there. So
Is that the, are you taking